Hi students, this is AJ sir. Let's study 10th standard ICSE Math, chapter 13b, the midpoint formula. Midpoint formula says that if the midpoint's coordinates are x, y, then x can be found out using x1 plus x2 upon 2, and y can be found out with y1 plus y2 upon 2, which makes sense. If these are the endpoints of the segment, then the coordinates will be an average of their coordinates. On the other hand, if we have a centroid is the point of intersection of all three medians, and every centroid always divides the median in the ratio 2:1. Now the formula for finding a centroid, a direct formula, is x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3 and y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3, where these are the coordinates under consideration: x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3. So again we are taking an average of all the x coordinates and the average of all the y coordinates to get the coordinates of the centroid. Since we know the ratio is 2:1, we can even use the section formula, but this formula is easier. Now, in exercise 13b, cancel the first sum and the fourth sum. Let's start with the third sum. A, B, C, three coordinates are given. They are the vertices of the triangle. L and M are the midpoints, and we have to prove that LM is half of BC. Well, midpoint theorem tells us that if LM are the midpoints, then LM is indeed half of BC and LM is parallel to BC. That's the midpoint formula. It's a midpoint theorem we studied in geometry. But here we are going to use the midpoint formula to prove the same thing, not geometry. First of all, how do we get the coordinates of L? Well, just find the average of A and B coordinates. So 5 plus minus 1 upon 2 is 2, and 3 plus 1 upon 2 gives you 2. So that's how you get the coordinates of L. What about M? Same thing. 5 plus 7, 12 upon 2, 6. So that's 6. And 3 minus 3 upon 2 is 0. So that's 0. Once you get the values of L and M's coordinates, and yeah, I'm using equal to sign, but you can use equivalent sign also with 3 dashes. It's not important. Now we will use a distance formula to find the length of LM. We know the distance formula is always x2 minus x1 the whole squared plus y2 minus y1 the whole squared and square root of that. Be careful about the signs. Here minus 2 square will still be positive because square makes this negative positive, and that's 4. 16 plus 4, 20. Square root of 20 is nothing but 4 into 5. Square root of 4 is 2, but root 5 we cannot solve further, so keep it as it is. No need to find the decimal value. Similarly, get the value of BC, because we know the coordinates, we can use distance formula, and you will notice that indeed LM is half of BC. That's what we had to prove. Now in the fifth sum, P's coordinates are given, and we have to find the coordinates of point A and B. So here the midpoint is given, but the extreme points are not given. However, since we know that B lies on the x-axis, it will be x, 0, and since A lies on the y-axis, it will be 0, y. So redraw the diagram with the data. Now minus 3 is nothing but x plus 0 upon 2, and 2 is 0 plus y upon 2. So that's the formula we have used, midpoint formula. So comparing, we get the value of x as minus 6 and y as 4. So that's how we get the coordinates of A and B. Now the seventh sum. 3 points are given which are vertices of a triangle. Find the length of the medium through the vertex 3, minus 6. So again, this is the diagram. They want median which is BM because they mentioned the vertex. But they could have changed the question and could have asked for the median passing through C or the median passing through A as well. But that is not important in this sum. In this sum only BM is under consideration. It is a median means M is a midpoint. So that's easy to find. M's x coordinate is nothing but minus 5 plus 7 upon 2. And M's y coordinate is nothing but 2 plus 4 upon 2. So first of all, get the coordinates of M. Yeah, do mention that let M be the midpoint of AC. This statement is important. Next, we will find the length of BM using the distance formula, which comes out to be root 85. And we cannot leave it like that. We'll have to use the log table to find the value as 9.22. Now the ninth sum. One end of the diameter of a circle is given, and we have to find the coordinates of the other end if the center of the circle is given. Get the diagram right first of all. So one end, let's say A is given, B is the other end which is not given, and center of the circle O's coordinates are given. Now you know that center of a circle is the midpoint of a diameter. So we start with that fact. So 2 should be minus 2 plus x upon 2, and minus 1 should be 5 plus y upon 2. So that way we get the value of x and y, and we get the coordinates of B. Next, the 11th sum. P and Q are the vertices of a parallelogram, and minus 3, 2 are the coordinates of the point of intersection of the diagonals. Find the coordinates of the other points R and S. Now try to draw the diagram on your own first. Try it first. Let's see if you get it. Now check. Is this how you drew it? It's a parallelogram. That means opposite sides are parallel and equal. So P and Q values are given, but R and S values are not given. So I'm assuming it as x1, y1, x2, y2. Point of intersections coordinates are given. In a parallelogram, diagonals always bisect each other. That means O is the midpoint of PR and O is the midpoint of SQ. That's the hint we are going to use in this sum. Since O is the midpoint of PR, that means its x coordinate minus 3 is equal to 4 plus x1 upon 2. So that's how we get x1 value. And y coordinate 2 is 2 plus y1 upon 2. So that's how we get the value of y1. Similarly, O is the midpoint of SQ, and we use the same procedure to find the values of x2 and y2. So x1, y1, O is the midpoint of SQ, x2, y2. And then don't forget to write the coordinates of S and R, which is what is asked in the question. Now the 13th sum. The points this and that are the midpoints of the sides of a triangle. Find its vertices. This is a very easy sum, although it's quite long. The 3 midpoints are given, but the 3 vertices are not given. So I'm going to assume it as x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. Now use the midpoint formula here. So minus 2 will be x2 plus x1 upon 2. 2 is equal to y2 plus y1 upon 2. Similarly, for point D, 2 is equal to x2 plus x3 upon 2. 1 is equal to y2 plus y3 upon 2. And for point E is the midpoint of AC, right? Always mention that. So minus 1 is equal to x1 plus x3 upon 2. 4 is equal to y1 plus y3 upon 2. So I got totally 6 equations this way. For point D, I got 2 equations. From point E, I got again 3rd and 4th equation. And for point F, again I got 5th and 6th equations. So 6 equations and 6 unknown variables are there. So we'll use simultaneous equations to solve them. But there is a trick which I use to solve. First of all, I'm going to add equations 1 3 and 5, all the x equations. So that will be x2 plus x3 plus x1 plus x3 plus x1 plus x2. So I'm getting twice of x1 plus x2 plus x3. I remove 2 common. And if I add all the RHS's, I'm getting minus 2. So how did I get this equation? I did equation 1 plus 3 plus 5. You do all the calculations by your own. And of course 2 goes down and I'm getting x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to minus 1. Why did I do this? I'll let you know shortly. Similarly, if I add equations 2, 4 and 6, I am getting twice of y1 plus y2 plus y3 is equal to 10. That means y1 plus y2 plus y3 is equal to 5. That is equation number 8. Now the reason why I got these new equations 7 and 8 is because further calculation will be easy. Notice here I have x1 plus x2 plus x3 in equation 7. And in equation 1 I have only x2 plus x3. So let me write it down here. x1 plus x2 plus x3, I'm getting minus 1. That was equation 7. And equation 1 is x2 plus x3 is equal to 4. If I subtract them, x2 and x3 disappear, only x1 stays, and minus 1 minus 4 will give me minus 5. So that's how I got the value of x1. So I say x1 is equal to minus 5 by doing Roman number 7 minus Roman number 1 equation. Similarly, you can get all the values by subtraction, and that is why I got equations 7 and equations 8, because now it's simply by subtracting the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth equations, I am getting the 6 values, and once I get the 6 values, I know the coordinates of A, B, C of the triangle. Now the 15th sum. Points P, Q and R are collinear, that means they lie on a straight line, and Q is between P and R, and PR is equal to twice QR. So indirectly they are saying that Q is a midpoint, because if PR is twice of QR, that means QR is half of PR. That means QR is equal to QP, and that means Q is a midpoint. So first prove that it is a midpoint, and then using midpoint formula you can find the value of A and B easily. And now the 17th sum. The coordinates of a centroid are given, and Q and P, 2 points are given. We have to find the coordinates of the third vertex, P. So you can take it as x1, y1 or just xy, it's okay. 2 points are given and centroid is given. Now what was the direct formula of a centroid? Well, the x coordinate 2 is x plus minus 6 plus 11 upon 3. And this y coordinate minus 5 is equal to y plus 5 plus 8 upon 3. So that's how we are going to find the value of x and the value of y and get the coordinates of P, which is 1, minus 28. Hi students, if you found this video useful, press the like button. Also, to enroll for my online lectures or online test series, email me or message me on Instagram. Check the description for more information.